coaching staff, you can tell, was experienced. They knew how to attack TCU, both in their pass protection and in what they were doing in their run game. And it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming from the start, and you could kind of see it materialize. Now, that being said, there were glimmers of hope for TCU in that game. The second series that Georgia has, offensively, they go down, march down the field, kind of like they did all night long, but they marched down the field, and then TCU was able to hold them to a field goal. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, like it's 10-0. Maybe we've got a game. It's looked pretty easy for Georgia, but we've got a game if they can go down and score. And they were able to do that. They got a big play on that drive, and they were able to go down, and they stuck it into the end zone. And it's like their fans are all excited. And you think to yourself, okay, like maybe we've got a game. Maybe they can get a turnover in the next couple of series. Maybe they can force a punt in the next couple of series. But then they go out there, and it's 10-7, and the next scoring drive for Georgia was 4 plays and 70 yards. Over. That Georgia team was on a mission. They had a great game plan. And at that moment, you had a very abrupt realization, at least I did, and I think most people watching the game did, they're not stopping them. TCU's not stopping Georgia all night long. I don't know if they're going to start turning the ball over or get conservative, but based on the game plan that I saw in those first 3 series, it was over. It was over at that moment. One of the things that they did a great job of, in particular when the game was, I guess you could say, like in jeopardy or in question, was that they did exactly what I talked about last week, which was target Brock Bowers. He's the best player on the field. He was the best player on the field on Monday night. I think that was very apparent. 7 catches, 152 yards, and a touchdown, and he caught every one of the 7 targets that they threw at him. He was the best player on the field. Here's my question. How is that your game plan if you're TCU? How is that your game plan defensively to allow Brock Bowers to be the focal point, not only to be the focal point, but not be double covered, and go 7 for 152. That cannot be he's the best player on the field. The entire game plan should have been about Brock Bowers. You take away Stetson Bennett's best weapon in order to make Stetson Bennett uncomfortable. You have to do that. If he can throw it to number 19 all day, what? Got it. A lot of guys could do that. So I didn't love the game plan from TCU defensively, and I loved what Georgia was doing offensively, targeting him. And the reason I loved it is because they did make it difficult on the defense to know where he was going to line up. And we talked about this, by the way, in Breaking the Huddle last week, and we showed it on film of all the different ways that they line Bowers up in order to have him attack the defense. They line him out as a wide receiver. They flex him. They put him in line. They have him as a little flex H-back. He does all of these different things, and he does them all really well. You can hand him the ball. You can throw him screen passes. You can send him right down the middle of the field. And he did all of those things, and he did them extremely well. My question is, how is he not double covered every single time? Every single defense. Like, if somebody else beats you, I get it. And they did, by the way. Everybody beat TCU. But you can sleep with that a lot better than letting Brock Bowers get absolutely anything he wants when the game was in question in the first half. And was it really in question? I'm not sure. I'm just using that as a frame of reference there. When the game was not out of hand, Bowers was getting whatever he wanted on the field. That can't be your game plan in a championship environment. And that leads me to kind of the next observation, which was you could tell the coaching staff for TCU very inexperienced in a moment like that. And Georgia's, they were not inexperienced. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew exactly how to go win that game. They knew exactly how to prepare, how to warm up, how to do everything, how to deal with the schedule, the game plan. And in a championship environment, look at the opponent and say, that piece is not going to beat us.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here. College football on Fox.